It was summer, and I believe I was around 11 years old. And my cousins and I decided to go to a nearby park, to ride bikes. Now, for some reason, I have no idea why we decided to switch up bikes. I think because my cousin's bike was a high speed and mine was just a basic bike. So anyway, we were riding around, but I failed to remember one thing about my cousin's high-speed bike, and that was it had no brakes. The brakes weren't functioning properly. But I figured I could navigate around all of that. Anyway, we were on this hill, and we had to come down the hill in order to do whatever we were going to be doing. And I saw on one side of the path that I was about to take, there was a brick wall. The wall that was a part of the building that had the bathrooms and so forth. And then on the other side was a bunch of kids playing hopscotch. We played that back then. Anyway, I figured I'd navigate right between the two, and it would be no problem. But I hit a bump on the way down the hill, which kind of threw me off course. Anyway, I was determined not to hit any of the kids, so I thought I would go right past, get close to the wall, not trying to hit the wall, but just go right past it. And I made it almost, except with this much, just that much. So I wound up hitting the wall, actually sliding against the wall, face first. And my cousin started screaming. The two of them started screaming. It was horrible. So, was I okay and all that kind of thing. And I guess maybe I was in shock. I really didn't know. What was. I felt pain, of course, but it was just pain. I mean, it wasn't like I was dying or anything. So we walked the bike home, which was about a block and a half. And during all that time, I was still manageable, and I wasn't crying, no tears or anything else like that. I got back to my house, parked the bike, went inside, went past my mom and my aunt, went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I saw that my eyebrow was gone. Half of my face was just all scarred, and suddenly pain was there. It was there. I mean, it was excruciating pain. I have never felt pain like that before in my life, and I just started screaming my head off because of so much pain. I mean, I couldn't believe how painful it was. Later, I started thinking, how is it that this happened to me? I was able to walk home. I was able to walk in the house, do all these things without feeling anything, and I didn't feel it until I saw it. What was the connection? I'm always analyzing stuff and critical thinking. I'm always trying to figure out why. And it wasn't until years later that I heard someone say that pain was a concentration of thought. And if you release that thought, you release the focus, the pain will subside. But as long as you're focused on it, it will intensify. Like I said, that was my real introduction to serious pain. And I learned it in the mirror. So what do you think? Could it be possible that one thing has to do with the other? I know they say when you sleep, you don't feel pain. You're not conscious of the pain. So how does that correlate? What do you think?